You know, I've met so many people who've told me the same thing. They'll say, "Doc, I don't know what's happening. My legs just don't feel like they used to." They get up from a chair and feel shaky. They walk a few steps and feel tired. And at night, those awful cramps wake them up. And most of them think, well, maybe this is just how getting older works. But here's what I want you to know. That's not true. Weak legs, cramps, feeling like you've lost your strength. That's not simply aging. That's your body quietly telling you, hey, I'm missing something. And it's not complicated. It's not scary. It's not too late. In fact, studies from places like Harvard Health show most people over 65 who struggle like this are missing just 3 little things: vitamin B12, vitamin D, and magnesium. That's it. 3 nutrients your body used to get. But now, they're running low. And when they run low, your legs suffer. Your energy suffers. Your confidence suffers. But the good news? You can fix this. With small, simple changes, starting today. So stay with me. I'll walk you through it, step by step. You know, over the years I've heard this story more times than I can count. Someone will sit across from me, looking tired, a little frustrated, and they'll say, "Doctor, I'm eating. I'm trying to keep moving. But my legs, they just don't feel like they used to. I don't understand why." Maybe that's you. Or maybe it's someone you love. But here's something I've learned after decades of listening, watching, and helping. Weak legs, shaky balance, those painful cramps that wake you up at night. They're not just some punishment that comes with age. No, they're your body's quiet way of saying, I need help. You see, as we get older, something small starts to change inside us. Bit by bit, we stop getting enough of 3 simple nutrients our muscles and nerves depend on: vitamin B12, vitamin D, and magnesium. That's it. Just 3 things. But when those 3 run low, everything feels harder. Your balance, your strength, even your confidence. And the truth is, it's incredibly common. Doctors at Harvard Health say nearly 60% of people over 65 are missing at least one of these nutrients. Not because they're careless. Not because they're doing something wrong. Simply because life changes. We eat less. We don't get outside as much. Our stomach doesn't absorb like it used to. And the medications many people take for things like heartburn or blood pressure, they quietly drain these nutrients too. Little by little. Day after day. Nobody tells you that part. But it matters. Because these 3 nutrients? They're not optional. They're the key to keeping your legs steady, your nerves healthy, and your steps confident. Let me share a story with you. I remember a patient, sweet woman, in her late 70s. Lived alone since her husband passed. She told me she used to be strong, used to tend her little garden every morning, without fail. But over time, she stopped going outside. She said her legs just didn't trust her anymore. At first, it was small things. A stumble here. A little more effort getting out of bed. Then it grew. She started holding on to the walls as she moved through her house. She gave up the stairs completely. And the fear settled in. She told me quietly, "I don't even want to leave the house anymore. I'm scared I'll fall. And if no one's there to help, then what?" If you've ever felt that fear, or watched someone you care about go through it, you know how heavy it can sit on your chest. But here's the part people forget. Fear feeds weakness. The less you move, the weaker you feel. The weaker you feel, the more afraid you become. It's a cycle. But it's not permanent. When she came to me, we didn't talk about surgeries or expensive treatments. We talked about food, sunshine, and little habits that give the body what it's quietly been asking for. Because your muscles? They don't give up overnight. They don't break beyond repair. They just run out of the fuel they need. And the beautiful thing about the human body, Even in our 70s, 80s, 90s, it still knows how to heal. If we give it the right tools. So, what are these tools I'm talking about? It's not complicated. It's not new. But it's something most people never hear about until it's already caused problems. Let's start with vitamin B12. I always tell people, think of B12 like the plastic covering on an electric wire. When we're young, that coating is thick, strong, protects the wire inside. That's how your nerves work. The signals from your brain to your muscles. They travel fast, smooth, steady. But as we get older, if we don't have enough B12, that protective coating wears thin. And those signals? They get weaker. Slower. Your legs stop trusting themselves. You stand up and feel shaky. You take a step and wonder if you'll stay steady. It's not just old age. It's your body struggling to send a message because the wires are fraying. And here's the tricky part. After 60, most of us just don't absorb B12 like we used to. Even if we're eating well. Even if we're trying. Our stomach stops making the same acids it did when we were younger. So the B12 from food? It goes in, and goes right out. Your body never gets to use it. That's why things slowly, quietly get worse. Now, vitamin D. Most people know it as the sunshine vitamin. And that's true. When we're young, we go outside. Our skin soaks up the sun. Our body turns it into vitamin D. But as we age, we stay inside more. Our skin doesn't work quite the same way. And without enough vitamin D, muscles weaken faster. Bones lose strength. Even your energy fades. That's why stairs feel harder. Why little tasks take so much more out of you than they used to. And Harvard Health, some of the best doctors in the country, they say most older adults are dangerously low on vitamin D. Not because we want to be. Just because life changes. Now, the last one. Magnesium. I call magnesium the quiet helper. It doesn't make headlines. It's not trendy. But it's working behind the scenes, every single day. Your muscles can't contract, can't relax, without it. That's why cramps show up at night. That's why your leg seize up. No magnesium? No smooth movement. It's as simple as that. And here's the truth. Most people barely get enough anymore. Not from food. Not from habits. Not from supplements. That's the why. That's the root cause behind so many of the struggles I've seen, and maybe you've felt too. Now, here's the part one wants you to really hear. Fixing this doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to feel overwhelming. You don't need a dozen pills. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start, somewhere small. Because small steps? They're still steps forward. Let's talk about vitamin B12 first. You don't need fancy supplements if you don't want them. Sometimes it's as simple as what's already on your plate. A boiled egg. A small piece of chicken. A little plain yogurt. These aren't big changes. But done every day, they make a difference. And if you don't like meat? That's alright. Yogurt still works. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it steadily. Now, vitamin D. The best source? Still the sun. But I'm not talking about baking yourself in the afternoon heat. That's not necessary. I tell my patients, just 10 or 15 minutes of soft morning sunlight on your arms, your face. That's enough to remind your body how to make vitamin D again. And when it comes to food? Salmon. Sardines. Even a glass of milk a few times a week. It doesn't take much. But your muscles, your bones, they'll notice the difference. And finally, magnesium. Nature already gave us what we need. A small handful of pumpkin seeds. A few almonds. Some leafy greens with dinner. Even half a banana before bed. It helps more than you might think. These are not miracles. But they are steady, gentle ways to give your body what it's been quietly asking for. Because your muscles? They want to heal. Your nerves? They want to work the way they used to. They just need a little help. I want you to remember something. Your body hasn't given up on you. Those legs of yours? They're not broken. They're not beyond repair. They're just waiting. Waiting for you to give them what they've been missing. Because independence? It's not something you've lost. It's something that's been hiding. Just waiting for you to come back to it. And you don't have to move mountains to get there. You don't have to chase perfection. You just have to begin. A better breakfast. A moment in the sun. A handful of seeds. Small choices. Steady steps. Those are the things that rebuild strength. That bring back confidence. That remind your body. I still want to move. I still want to feel steady. I still want to enjoy my life. And I've seen it happen more times than I can count. People who thought they were done. Who thought weakness was their future. They found out it wasn't true. Because healing? It's still possible. No matter your age. And if they could do it, you can too. If you found this helpful, give us a like. If not, type 0 in the comments. But if it helped, let us know by typing 1. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-saving health tips.